Why do Christians always think that shoving a Bible down somebody's throat is the way to do it? You know, leading by example is the best way to do it. And the only way to do that is pure love. Nothing else matters. But when you want to come back to the Bible, I'll give you a personal testimony experience. Ever since I was in 6th grade, I started intensive reading. Up until 12th grade. My whole entire middle school, whole entire high school in South Florida. Intensive reading. My teachers knew not to pick on me. They knew no matter how hard I tried, it was just when it came to words, my brain couldn't really process that well, especially when it came to just reading. I could read 2 pages, 2 paragraphs, and then I don't even know what I just read. Everybody's brain operates very differently. There's things that my brain can do that you can't. When it came to mathematics, equations right in front of me, no problem. When it came to hands-on, no problem. But when you go to put books in front of me, that's when it gets tricky for me. There's different reasons why. 1, I get antsy. It's hard for me to sit still. 2, if I'm not intrigued, or if it's not grabbing my attention, or if it's making me confused, or if I'm not understanding, my brain goes to left field. When I was in 12th grade, at 18 years old, they told me, Alyssa, you have to pass the ACT in order to graduate. Because I never passed the FCAT, the reading FCAT, for 6 years. And the ACT, I believe it was for college or whatever. There were so many tests to take. It's ridiculous how you go the whole entire school year, but then it dictates to one single test. So, you can't even keep up. But that was at my front doorstep. So, here I was going to take the ACT. But the ACT was a whole different setup than the FCAT. So, I passed it. I mean, I didn't do flying colors or anything like that, but I didn't just barely make it either. I did a little bit more than barely making it. I went to a Christian school for 9 weeks, never told the gospel. Telling me to go read this and read that, tell me what you think and blah, blah, blah. And I still, you know what I mean? It's just the way my brain operates. If you want to bash me or judge me for it, go right ahead. In my experiences, when it comes to the Most High, Jesus Christ, and all of the above, it's very personal. It was hard for me to involve a book. Not only me, I can look at my grandfather. My grandfather dropped out of school at 8 years old because, when you're the oldest of like 15 kids and in the mountains and your he served our country and everything. He don't know how to read that well, but he did turn out to own his own business and make his own cabinets. God blessed him with good hands, but he blessed him with the most amazing heart that I have ever ever witnessed, felt, and came across. Do you think he opens up a Bible and reads it every single night? No. Do you think he goes to church all the time? No. But he is one man that no matter where we go, he is always trying to put a smile on somebody's face. No matter the time, the day, the hour, he's always working out of his heart. He is him and my grandma, it's like them two are just, the way their hearts are, they're like the closest things to angels I felt on earth. You know what I mean? But the moral of the story with my grandfather is he didn't have the ability to read a book. You could talk about even his cousin. You guys, some of you older folks especially, he's blind. He is a famous artist, musician, and singer, but he's blind. But yet, he was able to touch your guys' hearts. God didn't give him eyes to see, but God sure as heck blessed him in different areas. People want to sit here and throw scriptures at people. It's one thing to help guide people, to bring people to water, but when you want to shove somebody's face in a pond of water, you think that's really godlike? You think that's really out of love? My experience is so personal that it's incredible. That I feel so bad for people that want to throw a Bible in my face and scriptures. Yes, I try to open it. I try to read it. I try to, guide through it. I do my other ways of research, of getting into the Word when it comes to that way. But getting into the Word for me is living and breathing it, is looking at the trees and knowing how special they are. When a bird flies around me, a cardinal, blue jay, dragonfly, butterfly, I can't even explain the feeling that I have and the way I look at those things. I see God all around me, and I know what Jesus Christ did for me. Once I was told the real gospel, and once I understand and understood and understood the simplicity of what it comes down to, because of what my own personal experiences were, and all it does is come down to your heart. No matter what. If you're not right in your heart, you are working with the enemy. That is the enemy. That is hell. The only way to get out of it, you can look at hell physically and spiritually. What is time? So once you're out of this flesh, it's always been there, but it's going to end up spiritually. It's just a matter of how you want to dig into it. Because you can dig into it into yourself. Once you understand that it all comes down to love, you learn how to operate differently. And when you start operating differently, it's incredible. It's incredible the feelings that you can feel within you, the experiences of sensations, of comfort, of love when nobody's around you physically. There's other ways of finding the Lord. People find the Lord in the darkest times, on their knees crying out, you don't know where. You don't need to shove a Bible down people's throat so they can get saved. You need to tell them the simple gospel, and then what you need to do is you need to be the example of what you're preaching, of what you're representing, of what you're worshiping, of what you're praising. Stop letting man dictate the seasons in which you are supposed to be Christ. It's called a consciousness. And if you don't know how to have Christ consciousness 100%, you are falling short. You are letting the enemy win. We're never going to be perfect. But as long as you keep working out of a heart space, if you say F you to somebody and then you turn around and you go apologize because you know it was wrong and you drop your pride, that's repentance. That's feeling that spirit inside you. But if you keep that pride and ego up and you don't change, that is Christ-like. And it's okay if you mess up. And it's only okay if you mess up if you try fixing it. When you make your bed, you gotta lay in it. You gotta reap what you sow, and then your blessings will come. Your true, authentic blessings from the Most High. It hurts my heart knowing how I came to the Lord and then I turn around and you got people trying to throw and shove a Bible down my throat. And they don't even know how hard of a struggle it is just for me to read a book. But yet, you're the same person that's supposed to have compassion and not judge. How does that even make sense? And what kind of example are you setting? And you wonder why the generations are being led astray. But yet, here you are, acting as if you can tell somebody they're going to hell when you got your own demons in your own closet.